Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Ball Gamer. Today we're going to have a go at building some trash terrain hills. So first of all we're going to need a knife or a scalpel, whichever one you prefer, and some of this horrible white bobbly polystyrene packaging material you get in everything. Now we've all got loads of that stuff lying around. And finally some MDF. This is 5mm MDF which I've beveled the edges off to make it look a little bit more natural. So it's not such a drop off when you put it on your table. So find a suitable piece of your polystyrene and use your glue. Just cover the base in PVA glue. And then just push your polystyrene down and spread out the glue with a brush or something just to get it a bit more even. Why I use this white polystyrene instead of the stuff you buy, the insulated foam or whatever, is purely because it's a horrible stuff and it's best to just get rid of it. We're doing the planet a favour, so there you go. So you just tear off pieces and fit them in any gaps that you think. Just get the rough basic shape of the base of it, covering everything in glue, and just pushing the polystyrene into place. Now that we've done that, we're going to shave off a bit of the straight lines, make it a bit rougher. So you can use a knife or just use your fingers. It's a lot easier if you just pull bits off and you get sort of random shaped chunks, which is a lot better actually than cutting it. But sometimes you need to use the knife just so that you don't tear this bobbly polystyrene too much. Now once that's done, we're going to move up to the second layer and just fit them in as you can and build up the size. You could use cocktail sticks to hold it into place, just put it in the top piece and then down into the second piece, but I really didn't see no need. I just put tons of PVA on it and just hold it in place if you're going to go straight from building the one part to the next. But yeah, just whack on as much PVA as you can. It's only going to add strength, it's not going to do it any harm. So yeah, then go around with a brush, just pushing it into all the nooks and crannies, making sure that it's all fully covered. Now I take a knife and I'm just cutting the base of the hill a bit to give some more interesting shapes. It was too much of a straight line, a bit of a jagged straight line, if there is such a thing. But by cutting little notches and nooks into it, it makes it look much more interesting. So next we're going to use filler, or spackle, as it is in America, I believe. So yeah, make sure your hands are wet and then just mould the filler over the polystyrene. So you want to cover all of the polystyrene, getting rid of all the bubbles, the bubbly texture of the polystyrene, and also giving it a nice strong coat over the top of it. It'll protect it, and it will make it look much more natural looking. So you want to keep the lumps and bumps that you have from when you cut the polystyrene. You don't want to completely hide it in one big molehill. So just work it in, keep your fingers wet, push the filler into the gaps and cover everything up. It'll be nice and strong for when you finally get to play. So here's a closer look of the sort of texture, if I keep you on camera, there you go, of the texture you want. So as you can see, it's smoothed out the hill slightly, but it's still got lumps and bumps and various ledges and what have you to keep it looking interesting. And gently smooth it over with a wet finger just to get it nice and smooth and interesting and what have you. So now we come to painting it. So first of all, black bomb it, or cover it, just paint it over with black paint. I painted it over with black acrylic craft paint. And then household grey emulsion. I'm using this tester pot. And it's a really heavy dry brush. Start off a bit too light. Maybe I should do a little bit more of an overbrush than a dry brush. But, you know, you just keep going. Just go over everything in the grey. If you find you put too much on in one space, try and smudge it out with your finger. Now really the reason why I'm doing this terrain is to show how easy it is to make terrain. You don't have to be brilliant at doing it like the terrain tutor or Luke's APS. It's easy to do, you know, you don't have to be as detailed as those guys can do it, you know. Just have a go. Some terrain is better than none. And if it's fit for purpose, only you can say that. So here you can see I've knocked a bit of the black paint off and we're back down to the white. Don't worry about that too much, just go a little bit heavier over it with your grey. You won't notice it when you're done. So I just quickly brush over everywhere. And it's starting to take shape already. So here it is after I've done a quick dry brush. I'm just going over it again just to pick out some of the extra highlights that I want to get with the grey. And here are some pictures of what it should look like after that phase. So it's very stark and very monotone, but we can alter that. So next we get a brown, whatever colour brown you want. This is going to be for the earth. Even though we're going to be flocking it, it's always best to put some sort of brown or earth colour underneath, just in case some of the flock gets rubbed off or broken in some way. So then at least it's not black underneath, it's an earth tone, which will look considerably more realistic than blackwood. So yes, also catch the edges so that you've got covered the hole in the bottom of the model, because you don't want it sitting on your table and you having like a black line where your scenery starts and your table ends. So to blend it into your table a bit more, just remember to get that little lip. So yeah, I'll come back once I've done all the way around. So while you've got the brown tone out, you're going to place it on any flat areas on your hill, because mud would gather on any flat areas and grass would then of course try and take over. So find your flat areas, paint them brown. Here's a picture of it once it's all painted up with the brown. And next we're going to highlight the brown with a lighter brown, just to give it some interest, again some depth. Although we're going to be flocking over it, it's always nice to, you know, go that little bit extra. So as you can see, the texture on the base from the filler really picks up this once you dry brush it, so it catches all the nice details and you don't have to actually do much work, you just quickly brush over it and you can quickly get a nice finish. So next we go even paler. It's sort of a very off-white. Maybe slightly browner than that, but yeah. We go over it yet again, and not only over the base this time, we also go over the rocks just to tone it in, make it look like there's a bit of dust and mud that has blown up onto the rocks. Because at the moment the rocks are very black and grey, so we want to add a few brown tones just to break it up a little bit, just to break up the monotone. And we just lightly dry brush over everything, just to link it all together, and you should be left with something sort of like this. But obviously using your colours, so it won't look exactly the same, but just something similar to this. It's got some nice elevation and platforms. Here's a picture of a close-up with a photograph, so you can see. So next we're going to put some flock down, so spread out your PVA. You don't really need it 100%, but I didn't mix it with any water, just because I can't be bothered really. So we sprinkle our flock on it. So you spread the glue out, just sprinkle the flock on, tip the flock off, gather the flock back up, pour it back on. So I put some paper underneath so I can catch my pour off, as you can see. And then you waste very little if you put a piece of paper underneath to catch all of the stuff you're tipping off, as you can see. And you can just keep reusing the bits that come off. So just find spots where you think that grass might start growing, so flat areas generally. Okay, so now I'm going to do the base. So I've put some cartons underneath, so that when I sprinkle the flock on with the glue, I'm not sticking my piece of terrain down to the piece of paper, which isn't fun. So here you go. Glue, sprinkle, and then just tap it off the excess and gather it back up. That's all you do. Rinse and repeat. And that's what it looks like after I've done it. There's still some patches where the glue hasn't dried here, but you can see what it's like. So next I get a wash, which I've made personally myself from emulsion and just some water, because it's just really to dye the flock down a bit, give it a bit of extra colours and tones, and I think it works really well. You can use your Citadel washes or your Army Painter, whatever, but I just made this out of emulsion and water. So next you want a PVA and water mix to seal in the flock to make sure it doesn't all come off, because you don't want it falling off when you're playing with it. Never want it falling off when you're playing with it. So yeah, I've made this mix of PVA and water a bit too strong. It could have done with a lot more water in it, but it doesn't actually affect the overall the reason why you're using it to keep the flock on. All it means is it's going to take longer to dry out, but it could have been watered down a bit more than I've watered it down. But once this is done, the flock will be rock hard and it's not going anywhere. So for gaming purposes, that's brilliant. If you're doing it as a diorama, well, you probably wouldn't be watching my video to begin with, but if you were, you wouldn't be touching it very much, so you wouldn't need to seal it that much. So here's some pictures of the terrain finished, and it does exactly what I wanted it to. So if you haven't made any terrain before, have a go, it's fun. So this has been Welsh Miniature Board Gamer. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.